Here's the takeaway. The Zex Pros, or whatever they're calling them these days, the Crinacle X, sound incredible. They are mind-blowingly good for $35. Hey, I'm Randy, and you're watching The Cheap Audio Man. Here at The Cheap Audio Man, we talk about high-value, hi-fi, home theater, and headphone stuff. And today, we're talking about the KZ Zex Pro. Kind of. Apparently, they changed the name tonight. So, sit down, grab a cup of coffee. Look at this. It's the USS Nebraska. I was on the Nevada. SSBN 739, sent by my good buddy, Mark C. Thank you, Mark. So sit down, grab a cup of coffee out of your ballistic missile submarine coffee mug, and let's talk about the KZ Zex Pro, that they're not called the ZX Pro anymore. Today's sponsor is Sith Audio speaker-filled dampening material, bass dampening material. Looks like lint, I know, but it's not. It's audiophile lint. It's an audiophile speaker stuffing material. Makes the sound better. It's $173, $173.99 for a pound or a kilogram. You get a deal if you're in the metric places. So, the KZ Zex Pro, not anymore. Now it's a Zex Crinacle or something like that. Literally, while I was doing this review, getting my screenshots and some other stuff from my B-roll, their website changed. So I actually grabbed the frequency response graph, and I'll show those, from the original listing, and they updated the website, and it's different now. And it says Crinacle plus KZ. Crinacle is a guy, he's got a YouTube channel and he has a website. And I don't go on the internet, so I don't really know about the forums and the stuff like that. But I reached out to my boy Doug over at DMS, and I was like, hey, because I've watched a couple of Crinacle's reviews. I'm like, hey, Doug, do you know who this Crinacle guy is? Because he went from nothing to 100,000 subs in 2 months. But I'm not on the internet. Anyway, Doug told me that he's got 1,000 IEM reviews, and so it's very weird and timely that I watched Crinacle's review on the Mezes, and then I texted Doug. I'm like, hey, dude, do you know this Crinacle guy? He's like, yeah, he's a cool guy. I'm like, all right. And then I go on the website because I'm getting ready to review these. Now, the new ones apparently have his logo on the side. These are the pre-Crinacle edition. No logo. Just a regular KZ. So KZ makes very affordable IEMs, headphones, whatever you want to call them. These are the ZS10 Pro, I think. KZ ZS10 Pro. These are $50. The Zex Pros, or the Crinacle X's, $35. $35. And this is not their original cable. Actually, this is their original cable. I'm not very good at this. I'm probably not your first If you're into IEMs, I am not the first stop off the IEM bus into learn about IEM town. Probably the last stop. I may be the stop that you didn't even intend to make. This is a flat cable. Here's what I can tell you. It's better than the cable that comes on the KZ ZS10 Pros. My goodness, I'm finally getting these model numbers. This is an aftermarket cable. I like this cable. I'll link it in the description. So they sound awesome. They really do. I was shocked. I'm talking to some of my buddies, and I'm telling them these IEMs are incredible. They're $35. They're incredible. Bass is full. It's a bit of a U-shaped. And they even posted the frequency response. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much exactly what I heard. And then when I checked it again, it was a different frequency response graph because now it has Crinacle's graph on there too. They sound fantastic. They have electrostat driver, magnetostatic, and dynamic, and a balanced armature. Got 3 different drivers in there. So you got a high frequency balanced armature unit, a 6.8 millimeter electret magnetostatic, 10 millimeter magnetic circuit dynamic unit. All right. What does that mean? 3 different drivers. Clarity is unbelievable for a $35 IEM. Actually, I was thinking about this really critically, and I'm thinking to myself, These are pretty much as good as anything that I use as a daily driver. And the IEMs that I really like are the Kanos. I like those. They're very good, but they're like $200. I just got a set in called the Ambient Dynamic Lindale. They're very good. And then I have some tin Hi-Fi P1s. So they sound fantastic. I do have one gripe, though. I have a couple of gripes. They have nothing to do with the sound. Absolutely nothing to do with the sound. I think they're awesome. When I first got them, I've taken some pictures, but you can see where basically there's 2 pieces or 3 pieces, and it looks like they're press fit together, and they probably have some glue or something like that. Anyway, where they're pressed together, when I first got them, and I can still kind of do it, I can kind of hang my fingernail on it. So I need to hit these again with a little bit more sandpaper. Because when you put them in your ear, I felt it. Felt like I was scratching the inside of my ear. And it didn't feel very good. Actually, I did it on the left one. I sanded it down right there because I like them. I love the way they sound. And I grabbed a piece of 220 grit. Takes off the sharp edges off of your... They used to be the Zex Pros. Now they're the KZX Crinacle CRN. Bear in mind, if you get them, and I recommend getting them, they're $35. This is absolutely the best $35 IEM I've ever heard. I'm not going to say, these sound like a $300 IEM, because guess what? All $300 IEMs sound different. Some are good, some are not good. Some are warm, some are cool, some are right in the middle. This sounds like the best $35 IEM I've ever heard. If it was more comfortable, I would be grabbing this over pretty much just about anything except for the Katos and the Ambient Dynamics. I like both of those. So here's another thing right here. So this little humpy hump right there, I think it's supposed to go in like right there. And they didn't quite agree with my ears. So if you look at the ZS10 Pros right here, they have no magic hump. And so your mileage is going to vary. These, the Zex Pros or the KZX Crinacle CRN, in parentheses, Zex Pro, these aren't going to agree with everybody. They may irritate your ear because they do mine a bit. However, they sound so good, I just kind of pull them out a little bit. Because when I have them shoved in, sharp edges here, this kind of pushes in. Maybe it's just my ears. It could be. For $35, I'm putting up with the discomfort because they sound that good, and they're $35. Bass is, it's thick, it's present, it's tight, it's quick. It's got a bit of warmth to it, a little bit of caramel on top, a little bit of thwack in the kick drum or bass drum. Bass guitars are also tangible, good, clear, yummy. Bass is yummy. Mid-range is a bit recessed. These are a U-shaped, so mids are a bit stepped back. Mumford & Sons, There Will Be Time. His voice was a little bit stepped back. I don't care because his voice sounded incredible. It just seemed a bit lower in the mix. Hello by Adele. Her voice was a bit lower because she doesn't have a super high voice. She was a little bit stepped back again. But when she hit the upper notes, great, clear, awesome, almost too hot. And when I looked at the frequency response graph, they had a bit of a hump around 2300K. So it's good because it's north of 2000. If it was south, like 1500 to 2000, then that would give me fatigue personally. I've got no complaints. Clarity on the top end, micro detail retrieval is fantastic, especially when you consider this is $35. Detail retrieval is fantastic. The tin Hi-Fi P1s, planar ones, but those are also $170. And guess what? These have a huge soundstage. There is legitimately not one thing wrong with how these sound, even under $200. They're picking fights with any IEM I have heard. The only complaint I have is the comfort. That's it. And these may be perfect for you. I don't like this hump right here. I wish it wasn't there. I wish it was built like the KZS10s, whatever the something 10s. ZS10. Man, KZ, thank you. Just name them Crinacle. Crinacle 1, 2, 3, 4 to 10. KZ, you make great sounding IEMs. I like the ZS10 Pros too. They're a bit hot compared to these. I like these better. But please, just Charge $100 and put them in a better enclosure. It doesn't hurt my ear. So I'm talking to my buddy Steve, who's a patron, which, incidentally, if you want to support the channel, you can sign up for Patreon, patreon.com/cheapaudioman. Every Sunday night, we have patron-only Zooms. We're actually having a Christmas party this Sunday. Patron-only Zooms, and we also have a patron-only Facebook group. A lot of the folks that watch my channel aren't particularly into IEMs. And I asked them, are you into IEMs? Because I need to send these to you. Because they're amazing. Amazing. But doesn't matter how good something sounds if people aren't going to wear it. I think that's where this may not have a huge, overwhelming mass appeal. They do stick out of your ear a bit. But again, if you crank them in right there, right where this meets, that's where the sharp edge was. So I knocked that down with some sandpaper. And again, the only thing I really have to do if I want to keep wearing them is just go like that and just bring them out a little bit. But keep that in mind, if you're out and about on the street, you may get a little discomfort. It's not that bad, but for whatever reason, when I've been wearing them for a while, I always have to adjust them a little bit. These are also not the stock tips. Comes with a couple set of tips. Here's my experience with KZ earbuds, IEMs. Upgrade the cable. Upgrade the ear tips. It doesn't come with a case. Go buy a $2 case or a $1 case off of Amazon. I would rather have what KZ is doing, and that's put their money into how an IEM sounds than how it is presented to you when you open the box. I don't care about box openings or whatever they're called. Unboxings. I don't care about unboxing. I don't care what the box looks like. A little bit of a carry case is cool though, so I can stick it in my pocket, keep the cord all wound up. KZ's not giving you any of that fancy stuff. They're giving you a great, awesome, one of the best sounding IEMs I've ever heard for $35. I'll link them. So you're getting a direct link to KZ's website. I don't have an affiliate relationship with them. So if you buy them, I'm not getting anything. I'll also link the KZ ZS10 Pros on Amazon if you want to pick those up. They're $50. They have a $4 off coupon though. I like the way the Zex Pros or Crinacle X, Crinacle CRNs, I like how they sound better. I think they have way better top end, way better timbre. I don't know if that's what it's called. Cymbals seem more real, more realistic on the Zex Pros than on the ZS10 Pros. ZS10 Pros still sound real good though. Still sound real good, but not as good as the Zex Pros. Here's the takeaway. The Zex Pros, or whatever they're calling them these days, the Crinacle X, sound incredible. They are mind-blowingly good for $35. And as soon as I get done with this video, I'm going to put them back in my ears and start listening to them more. But KZ, I will pay $130 for something that sounds like this, that comes in a very nice package, that doesn't hurt my ears. I'll pay you $100 more per pair. $135. $150. I'll pay you $150 for something that sounds that good, that's just in a better enclosure. That's how good they sound. I'll pay you. I'll give you money out of my pocket, out of my wallet. So if you want to support the channel, you can click through the Crutchfield or the Best Buy links, do your shopping there. It doesn't cost you any more, but it helps the channel out. You can also sign up for Amazon Music. Link in the description. Click on it. You can get 6 months of Disney or 3 months of Amazon Music for free. All sorts of ways. You can sign up for Patreon. You can buy some of my merchandise. Coffee mugs. We don't have Rock to Squid in there yet. Maybe someday we'll sell some Rocktopus and Rock to Squids. Crazy review. Maybe I should write notes next time. So don't binge watch anything on Netflix or Hulu. Get yourself a Rock to Squid. Binge listen through your new KZ Crinacle X Zex Pros and fill your soul with happiness. And with that, I'm Randy. I'm the Cheap Audio Man.